I was gonna go put a shirt on, but I'm not going anywhere. So I'm gonna stay in my robe and I'm going to tell you a secret. I accidentally stole this robe from a hotel room. I thought it was just a white piece of clothing that I had and I was in a hurry and I shoved it in my suitcase and I didn't know until I got home and found it in my suitcase. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you have been here before. My name is Jordy if you don't know me, and I just really felt like doing a glam look. It actually ended up being very similar to my Marilyn Monroe makeup with like maybe a modern twist. If you want to see how I did this glam eye and this red lip, oh, and also I talked about the new Fenty powder foundation. So if you're wondering about that, then watch this video. I might go take a bath in this makeup, a glam bath. I look like somebody's grandma. I usually do all my skincare off camera, but I have been loving the Fenty Skin Hydra Visor. It's an SPF 30 sunscreen. It's got a lot of mixed reviews because it is pretty heavily fragranced, but it smells so good and my skin does not seem to mind. It feels so juicy. Just giving this a second to kind of soak in before I go in with primer. For primer, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I really took a big chunk out of there this time. I was just thinking about my cat and then a cat hair appeared on my face. I'm often thinking about my cats. Next, I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer. I'm in the shade 30NN. As usual, I forgot to wet my sponge. I'll be right back. This is probably gonna be extra full coverage since it sat there and dried a little bit. I'm okay with that. And then I'm gonna spot conceal a little bit, and that way we don't have to load on a ton of powder foundation. We're gonna use the Fenty powder foundation, which I've been loving. And it does have a really buildable coverage. Like you can make it really full coverage, but I find I like the finish more if I use less. So I've covered all of my blemishes and red spots. So this is the new Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation, and this is in the shade 110. Just making sure nothing is creased. And using the 125 Face Brush by Fenty, I'm first gonna use this lighter shade to set under my eyes. And I haven't used a ton of concealer because, of course, being a foundation, this has lots of coverage. I love this shade under my eyes. It's so nice and bright. And then for the rest of my face, I'm using shade 130. And this does look almost too dark, but it matches the rest of my body almost perfectly. And I like to just use patting motions. And I like to do the under eye first because then I can go in with the darker powder and get a really nice kind of blend between the two. I've never been a powder foundation person. It's something I've just never used. I think because my skin is usually so dry that powder has just never done me any favors for the texture of my skin. But then I tried the Urban Decay Stay Naked powder foundation that's kind of recent, and I did like that. And then this formula, like, it's just such a beautiful finish. It's so soft, it doesn't seem dry, it wears nicely. It doesn't do a super great job of setting my under eye. I do get a little bit of creasing, but like I always get a little bit of creasing. Even with the eye primer hack, even worse with the eye primer hack, that does not work for me. I love that I don't have to go in and set with powder now. Like my foundation is done. And then I like to go back into 110 and I like to highlight with it a little bit. I can't believe I wet that sponge just for that one task. I can feel a hair on my face and it's tickling me, but I cannot seem to get a hold of it. And then to contour, I'm using the light medium powder Sculpt Stack by Milk Cosmetics. Putting that in the hollow of my cheeks for a little cheekbone definition along my jawline. I saw this video of a girl who got like a jaw exercising thing off Amazon or something, and it was just like a thing that she chewed on to exercise her jaw muscles. And she showed a before and after, and she had like a wildly chiseled jaw after using this chewing thing. She said she used it for half an hour twice a day. Would that really work? I feel like I spend that much time chewing my food. maybe more. This brush is the Soft Angled Contour by Sigma. It's quite lovely. Next, I'm gonna contour my nose, and I'm gonna use the Sigma Bake Precision brush. It does work really well for precision baking, but it also has this edge on it, and it's so good for getting a nice straight nose contour. I just draw 2 lines down the bridge of my nose. I don't usually do them this close together. That was kind of a mistake. And then I do a little circle on the tip. This is not usually how I do my nose. Hopefully this works out okay. Making sure to blend it really well, especially when it gets a little bit out of control. And then I'm gonna go in again with the powder foundation. I'm gonna add that to the side of the nose, tighten up that contour a little bit. And then when there's less product on the brush, I'm gonna go over all of it just to soften it a little bit. It's such a nice feeling when your complexion products turn out nice. Next, I'm going to move on to brows, and I'm gonna use my Beauty Care Naturals Cream to Clear Brow Gel, which is available in my little curated set from Beauty Care Naturals, the Likely set. I'm just brushing it through with a spoolie, really sticking my brows down into place. I've been really tempted to change my brows recently, like pluck them off thinner or bleach them. I'm gonna change my hair too. I feel like I'm getting bored. I love this brow gel so much. My tailbone is really hurting today. I broke it and it never healed correctly, and there's just nothing that they can do. So that's fun. While I'm waiting for my brows to dry, I'm gonna go into the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette, and I'm gonna grab this shade here, and I'm just gonna put it all over my lid. I love using a shade that matches really close to my skin tone as just a base. Cover the veins in my eyelid. I don't typically like cool toned eyeshadows, but I've been reaching for this palette a lot. It just has so many good neutrals in it, and they're not actually super cool toned. There are a couple of nice warm browns in there. I've never used this brush to put on my kind of base eyeshadow, and this will now be my new go-to base eyeshadow brush. This is a Large Fluff by Sigma. Sigma brushes are expensive, but they're really good. I think I might actually just use this palette for the eye. I don't feel like doing my brows yet, so I'm going to just keep doing my eyes. I'm gonna go into this shade here called Corey Days. It is kind of a light, warm brown, and I'm just gonna put this in the outer corner. And then going in with a bigger fluffy brush, I'm gonna blend the heck out of it.
And just beat the devil out of it.
That could be a look all on its own. With the other eye done too. Haunted Printer is at it again. Just really giving this a good blend. I want it to be so soft. And then adding a little bit more to the outer corner. Keeping it most concentrated on the outer corner, but I am bringing some of that shadow inwards. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do a cut crease. Even though there's not a lot there, it's just gonna make the shimmer that we add look so glam. I'm looking straight ahead in the mirror. I'm gonna take this just above my natural crease, using a nice light concealer, and only taking this just over halfway across the lid. And then once you're happy with the symmetry, just make sure you blend out all the creasiness. I'm gonna go into this shade I Dig It, and I'm gonna press that on top. Oh, that's pretty. I love a golden look for New Year's or Christmas, but I don't like gold eyeshadow on me, which is funny because I prefer to wear gold jewelry. So this is my gold without being gold. I'm also going to take some of the shade Sediment to Be. I just realized that these are like named after rocks. I'm gonna pop that on the outer corner. Ooh, and just kind of blending those all into each other. There's no harsh lines here. I'm gonna take some of the Hank and Henry Beauty Nightlight highlight, and I'm gonna put that on the inner corner. and on the brow bone. You could stop here and just put on some lashes or even just some mascara, and this would be so cute and glam, but I really want to do a nice dramatic wing. I'm gonna use the One Size Point Made liner and looking straight ahead, mapping out where I want my wing to be and then connecting it to my eye. I'm only gonna line about halfway onto my eyelid. I used to wear a wing like this all the time, and some of you, if you're still here, called it a banana wing. So today is a banana wing. These are definitely going in different directions, just slightly, but I have missed a big wing. I feel like it has been a long time since I put on a big wing. I'm gonna give my lashes a curl and put on a coat of my Beauty Care Naturals lengthening mascara. I find that really hard to say, lengthening. Length. I feel like I missed the G and I say lengthening and it doesn't sound right. I think I'm gonna do a half lash, so I'm gonna try to make my natural lashes look as lovely as possible because they might be exposed. I've had these pin curls in my hair all day. I have no idea what my hair is gonna look like when I take them out. I like to let my mascara dry before I start gluing any eyelashes on there, so I'm gonna go back to the eyebrow. I'm gonna use this Sigma Color and Shape Brow Powder Duo in the shade medium. Just gonna lightly fill in any little holes. I wanna keep the brow pretty light and fluffy. For the lash, I'm going to use Likely Makeup Blissful Baby Lash. So luscious. I only want to do half. Normally, I only cut from the long side so that there's not a super long lash and it doesn't blend with my lashes. But since I'm only going to do like a fairly small piece, I am going to cut off a bit of the inner corner of the lash and then also cutting off a long piece. And then we're left with this piece and we're going to put that on right on the outer corner, and look at that, it's so pretty. It always feels so sad cutting up a lash, but all of those little pieces I will use for something. This is one of my favorite parts of the makeup process. I feel like lashes are like a cherry on top of something very tasty. This lash is such a good addition to the big banana wing. Going back into the Nightlight highlight, of course, we need a very bright highlight, a little bit on the forehead and in kind of a C shape, a little bit on the chin. I don't like a lot on my chin, a little bit on the Cupid's bow, which I usually cover up by overlining my lips. I think it's just habit at this point. And the best part, the nose. And while I've got this little tiny brush, just add some more to the inner corner. After I highlight, I like to go back in with the brush I used for my foundation and just kind of blend it all together. Time to pack on a few layers of blush. I'm gonna use the Likely Makeup Clown Blush, and I'm gonna use the shade Contortion, using a super fluffy brush, applying it lightly because it packs a serious punch. A little bit on the nose. You could do this look without as much blush, but I love blush a lot. Now I'm gonna add some freckles. You could also skip this step. I love freckles with glam. It's like a contrasting texture, if that makes any sense. This is the Salty Face freckle stain. You just add a couple where you want them, and then you blot them into a couple more freckles with your finger. I went into this look thinking I wanted to do a red lip, but now I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna take my hair down and then decide. I always get these stuck in my hair. Why are they so difficult to take out? I thought this is what they were for. I should just use bobby pins, but bobby pins are easier to take out, but these are easier to put in. What's up, Louie? I curled all of my hair this morning with a flat iron, all in the same direction, this way. And then I pinned them while they were still warm, because my hair does not hold a curl. I keep all of my little hairpins in these little thrifted swans. Every time I check, there's still more. Another one. Should I just leave it like this? It's so satisfying to brush them out. This is looking a little bit 70s Farrah Fawcett. I'm gonna put in a little bit of Design Me Puff Me Light. It is an excellent volume powder. And then just work it in. Oof! And I almost always wear my little bangs tucked behind my ears because they're at such an awkward length. This little guy has a mind of his own. That is cute. I'm not mad about these curls. Let's do red. I'm gonna use the shade Mastered. This is by Haus Laboratories. It's kind of pink. I'm just putting it on softly. I'm gonna add some NYX Red Velvet Butter Gloss on top. That is pretty. I really like this lip. And as usual, now that I have the lip on, I feel like I need more blush. Maybe just a little bit? That's better. I'm gonna put on a little bit more highlight. I feel like glam makeup in a robe is definitely a vibe. And also, we're not really leaving our house much, are we? So let's just call this robe glam. This is probably my New Year's outfit. This is probably my Christmas outfit. Are you guys gonna even bother getting ready for the holidays? I might, just as like a morale booster. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. My camera is gonna die. I hope you like this look and I'll see you in the next video.